Hi.
Oh yeah, I got your video feedback. Cool. Super cool.
Yes.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome to the interview series of distance skaters. It's been, like quite a honor, to say like to have you on this show. And like myself, who is very excited to talk to you. There are plenty of people on the distance skating community to know about Lena Meringdal, and there are many people who already know Lena Meringdal, but who they are going to explore a little bit more about. Who is Lena is, So kindly allow me to say a few good words about the person I know. Where to start? It's a long story. It extends over more than 2 years, I would say. If you remember, when I literally approached you with empty pockets, wherein like I can't afford a distance skateboard ever. And I asked you for some suggestions over Instagram chat, and I remember a person who warmly welcoming me, saying like, "This is possible, this is not possible," and all that, and who kind of helped me throughout in the process where my journey of distance skating even began. When it was just a child in my head, she was there to assist me on that process, and she was the very first person I shared the picture of the completed custom welded LDP board that I made ever. So
Yes.
you remember?
I remember that.
It was all yellow, and all that. So thank you. And to continue further, I'm not going to stop it here. Okay, I have a lot to say about you. I know, and she was there to, help me at every single stage without any hesitation. And she even, offered me a racing board. To ride in the racing events if I can afford a plane ticket to come to those events. Such a kind person that have always been taking a kind of advantage, or what to say, like I cannot let go of her in many ways, saying that because she is such a good person, I just want to express my gratitude all the time. Though my YouTube financial thing is not open yet, and I couldn't still not able to buy a board. Lena never quit on me. She was there all the time whenever whatever doubts I needed to cleared off, particularly regarding distance skating. So I'm so thankful to her. This is the gesture from my land, as welcome, thankful, and everything. And I'm almost indebted to her in a lot of ways. And she is such a lovely person. She always has a special place in my heart all the time. And her mom, Ms.Lena Meringdal, she's been absolute, champ, cheering me, supporting me of all the work on Instagram. So thanks to her too. And if you're gonna let me, I'm gonna talk, or maybe even have one or two shred few happy tears. But without further ado, I don't want to keep my audience waiting. Who we have here is, as known to me, an entrepreneur at a very young age. She owns a company called MK Longboards, a painter, a photographer, is distance skater, and a winner of many races, a multifaceted talent, Ms.Lena Meringdal herself. Welcome to the show, Lena.
Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure. It's my honor. I just want to say one thing, like my English is not that great. It's not my mother tongue. My mother tongue is Tamil language, and I read your interview for Changing Angles with Alex. My language may not be that profound or that command over English, so kindly forgive me if I'm going to make any mistakes. And
Oh, no worries. I mean, like, English is also not my mother tongue, so I sometimes forget some words or I'm confused with some other languages, and it's just normal. But it's great that we can communicate, right?
That's absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. See what I've been talking about? She's such a sweet person and always understanding people. And I should mention here one more thing. And she was one of the few persons who cared about me, saying like, is this time okay for you? You know, like when my guest would say like, I'm free on this time, she was like, will you be free on this time? She cared.
Yeah, sure.
So, a wonderful person I have known. I'll be always indebted to her. So, yeah, I've been talking too much. So, I've said what is Lena from my perception. I would want people to know about Lena from you itself, the person himself, person herself. So, tell about yourself, Lena.
Yeah, so I'm Lena, I'm a distance skater, and I am also a developer and manufacturer of longboards. So I develop new technologies in order to improve performance of the longboard that I am also skating myself, so I'm also testing it and using it in competitions.
Awesome.
And yeah, as a manufacturer, I build longboards on request, customized for the people, for the customer, which means that I build custom to their weight, so that the flex characteristic is right, to personal preferences, to pumping style, and to the setup. In order to make the experience with my boards the best possible experience.
Awesome. So you do make custom boards for according to the requirement of the customer.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Super cool. Lena, I saw you skate along with your dad, you know, like tell me about that, like how he was there with you in your initial stage of skating during your childhood, and then how it was to skate along with him when you're all grown up doing the distance skating and all that. Explore that a little bit.
Yeah, so I started skating with, I think, age of 13, 14. And I bought my own longboard on my own back then, so I had to save money for it. Then I finally had it, and I could skate with it. And then I think at a certain point, I started skating LDP. And then at a certain point when I was also selling boards, my dad got interested and was like, maybe I should also skate. Maybe I should try it out at least. So I built him, of course, immediately a longboard and set it up and taught him how to longboard. And we've done some really cool tours together, and it's really wonderful. So it's something like, it's not that easy with, I think, over 50 to just start longboarding. It's a big step to take, and he just did that, and that's something I'm really proud of, that he did that, and it's so cool that I have a skating dad.
Super cool. Yeah, of course it is. Always to have a cool dad to be, you know, on your side when you're doing your own thing. That's amazing. So what is his favorite board from MK Longboards?
I think, basically he always skates what I set up for him. But I think currently it's the Postillon with the torsion tail rear. It's just a TTS.
Okay.
And in front, a fork with a poppy. He really likes the torsion tail because, and the Postillon as well, because the Postillon is really long, and the torsion tail, the way it works, it's self-centers. So it's a really stable truck. And that gives him some more confidence skating. Okay. So that's why I think that's his favorite setup currently.
Super cool. So you're planning to do any boards for people who are aged over 50 years, or like?
I'd love to plan that because actually the skating scene has a lot of older people who are skating insanely well. That's incredible to see. So I also have customers of age 50 plus. And they also have their own personal preferences, and then I just adjust the board for them.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, and Lena, like, tell me about your journey into distance skating. As in, like, you designed your very first longboard by yourself, and you were taking it to your school and all that. So, start from there and tell us about like how your interest dived deeply into distance skating.
Yeah. So basically, at a certain point, I started building longboards. I think it was age 15, like maybe a year later, or maybe also age 14. That's really cool, of course, because it was not a great board, but it was the best board because I built it myself. So. Because there was an emotional connection, of course, I built more and more boards because I got interested, and then I had some ideas how to improve boards. I somewhat always have been doing LDP, even though I didn't know. So I went to a German school, but I live here in the Netherlands. Back from school, I skated back home. So crossing the border, it's like 15 kilometers. And that was a lot of fun to do. And then at a certain point, I realized, probably what you're doing is LDP. Maybe I should get into pumping. So I built myself a top mount pumper, which ended up being the first car cork prototype that I made. So it was a 1 kilogram lightweight platform, which I used. And then there were some failures with the platform, not with the platform, with the boards. And I had to figure out, what's the problem? Which I then found out, and I learned more while doing that, while doing these stages of prototyping. And so I got more and more into LDP because then I built platforms for bracket setups because I wanted to skate the Dutch Ultra in 2018. I didn't train for it, but I wanted to be there, and which was an amazing experience.
Awesome. So that's how you got into bracketed boards.
Yeah, then that's how I got into bracket boards, and I learned more about those because you have a bracket which is like what is it called? A lift arm. Like it stresses the platform more, like than a normal board. So I had to learn about that as well, and to figure out how can I prevent D-lams or core breakage, etc. So I prototyped even more and really into it until I basically had actually a good board, which worked, which was durable, which was lightweight, like everything I wanted. And then, like, I never planned to sell longboards, but I just got requests of people who want to buy my boards, and I just build a board for other people.
Wow.
That's basically my long story in like 1 minute.
Your fun project turned out to be a professional career now.
Yes.
That's amazing, like it's really a beautiful thing to happen because not a lot of people would have the chance to do what they love, So they would be doing a work somewhere else, and they would be doing what they love in their spare time. But you get to do everything all the time. So that's a beautiful thing to happen.
I mean, essentially, it is that when you are doing this fun stuff, like what you're working, it's that you are really hyped about it, and you're really interested, and you want to spend a lot of energy in it, and that's why it probably turned out like me now having my own business and selling longboards worldwide.
Awesome. This is incredible, actually. It's a very good story to hear, to get inspired from, actually. Yep. Lena, I know you set things up on your own with your distance skating and your business thing. Is there an angle wherein like your parents helped you out setting up the workshop in your garage and all that? Can you explore something or tell us about that?
Yeah, so I have very supportive parents, which I'm very thankful of. I think like before I started selling bots, there wasn't a lot of help. It was sometimes like, I have to do this and that. Do you know how to do that? And how to solve a problem? And then that was it basically, and most of it I did alone. And then like with setting up the business and you know, like doing all the paperwork with that, yeah, which like that can be a lot. With that, I got support. Like whenever I needed help, I could ask for help, and I got support.
Super cool.
And if it comes to the machines in my garage workshop, like I have more knowledge about it than my parents, which counts also for how the longboards are made. But whenever I need help, and if it is to like carry a big 200 kilo heavy lathe, I get help.
Cool. So that's how it is. That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me about your brother's involvement in your business, or like you take help from your brother, or like as in like you handle it everything alone.
My brother is doing his PhD in chemistry. So we do quite different things. Sometimes, if it comes to a chemical reaction, which I mean, epoxy is basically also a chemical reaction. Like, and sometimes if there is some kind of trouble, I can contact my brother. Maybe he knows something, but in generally not, because he's not working on plastic, but more on researching ways to produce specific components, which in a very practical way, which can help against cancer or other illnesses. So it's very different from building longboards, but still, the foundation of chemistry can help out a little bit.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, like, you're very inclusive in your ideas. Like, you're very open to suggestions with your family and everything. That's amazing. You never, shy away to take help. That's an incredible character. It tells a lot about the person you are. So was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
So can I say something? Yeah, I mean, like when you have like a problem, you want to solve the problem. So I am working with that in my head all the time. Like, how can I fix it? And then it just comes naturally to ask for help or debate things. To find a way.
Yeah. That's the way you approach a solution easily, right? You want a solution for everything. That's the way, like many of us, like I don't even know if there is a problem in my setup. So then how can I arrive at the solution? So you always identify what it is. The first step to success is identifying the problem, and then you find the solution. That's an incredible approach, actually. I would definitely take that as a lesson and remember it. And would you like to do longboards as well as part of MK Longboards manufacturing thing, as in like for SSUP or like for other streams of skating, or like it is MK Longboards is completely focused into distance skating?
So I would love to use my knowledge and expand my lineup. So yeah, definitely. I also have some requests, like maybe, like, can you build a slalom board or a downhill board? It's something that is more difficult for me because I don't do LDP. I only do LDP. I don't do downhill or slalom. So I don't know what is really necessary or needed to have under your feet to be a good board or to be a great board. Okay. So it means that I it takes more energy to do this because I have to work very closely with other people, and I need to get good feedback while prototyping. But it's definitely something I really would love to do. Because I now have technologies, new technologies, how to build board with new kind of materials, which probably can be used really well also in downhill or in slalom or in dancing. And it would be cool to work on that as well. But at time. It will take its time before I will start doing that.
Obviously, right. Yeah, you need to do some backup, plan things. It's going to take, like considerable amount of time before it gets out into the market, right? Of course. Awesome. So, Lena, how did you come up with the name Melon and Kak for MK Longboards? Especially for a distance skating company.
Yeah. I had this word combination for a very long time, like also back in my school days. Like it's a very weird combination, of a kacke and Melone, like a melon and a piece of shit, basically, to combine that. And it's so weird, this combination, that it just always stuck in my head, in my friends' heads, and when I was just prototyping for fun, the longboards, I had this YouTube channel called Melonenkacke, where I showed some of the progress of how I manufactured these prototypes. And then, I stumbled upon selling boards, and I already had the name Melonenkacke, so I thought, well, why the hell not? Because, of course I can call myself differently, like more professional, but I don't take myself too seriously. Like this, it has to be fun. I stand behind my product, of course, but
it's all about fun.
Yeah, indeed, and that's also what distance skating is like. If you go to the competitions, like all the people are so friendly and so kind to each other, and we all have fun, basically. So it's really wonderful.
Absolutely, yes. People will remember it. Actually, it's when it is something different. They're going to. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I've heard about it. So definitely, they would love it. So, tell me about your painting skills with your custom MK Longboards, distance skating platforms. Like, when did you come up with that idea?
So I've basically been painting all my life.
Wow.
And it's something I really love to do. So, like, before building longboards, I painted on canvas and on paper and all the stuff. I did spray paint, and I was really interested in testing out new kind of pens, new brushes, or new methods to really paint something. Or create something. I built these prototypes, and I realized, I want to have something nice on it, because when I know what is on my board, if it's something really cool, I just get additionally motivated to do my skate, because it's something really, really cool, or maybe really beautiful. And I expected that this would do probably the same for my customers, because it's something I take a lot of time for it. It takes many hours.
Yeah.
But it's specially designed for my customers. It's one of a kind, and I think everyone can be really happy to have one of these artworks under their boards.
Absolutely. If I might say, the most valuable things are cherished when it is handmade. There is a piece of Lena into everything that she is making that adds value to the product, actually. So that's amazing. Yeah. So how do you arrive at the concept of your paintings? Do you ask your customers' inputs, or you at the spur of the moment you feel like you want to do this and you go with the idea?
So everybody's a little bit different. So every customer is different. Some customers have their artworks totally planned out and say, I want this on it. and then I do that. Some say, oh, I would like to have this and that in it, but I am free to interpret it the way I would do it, and then I can compose it together. And some are just like, oh yeah, you can do whatever you like.
Oh,
and
lovely.
then I am totally amazed because I can do what I like.
Absolutely lovely.
I have the freedom to create something.
Awesome. So do you do painted grip tapes as well?
Yes.
Wow.
So like that's also something that's really cool because like when you're skating, you of course have the artwork on the bottom, so you cannot see it.
Yes.
You have it in your head, but you can't. But on the grip tape, you can. So I can also do paint grip tape, which of course, like after 2,000 to 3,000 kilometers, you have to replace it, unfortunately, because the grip tape wears down. But that's how it is.
Yes.
But yeah, I do that as well, and
awesome.
Really cool also.
So, like, you do your personal signature and numbering of the platforms that you sell. So, can I know the number right now, or running on your favorite deck?
So yes, I do numbering on specific boards. I think the ISS and CLDP and Sputnik. I never did it in the beginning, so
I understand.
It's now stupid to start in the middle of it.
Nothing wrong. Yeah.
But works. But for example, the drop square, not the Sputnik, the Procyon, all the different kinds of Procyons, they are numbered, and I like my favorite board currently is the Procyon Banana, and I work on number 5 because it's a really new board.
Oh, cool.
So
cool. That's awesome. So, what is your lineup of platforms and your products in the year 2022? I know you have listed them for Changing Angles interview with Alex, but it's 1 year now since September. So, what are all the new lineups that you have got for MK Longboards?
Yeah, okay, so we can start with the cork carbon boards. So basically these are boards with a cork core and carbon fiber reinforced. And I have, I think, 4 boards of those in my lineup.
Okay.
So starting with the Sputnik, which is basically a simple carbon cork platform, which I can make in different kinds of less, depending on personal preference of the skater, of course, and I can reinforce it to the weight. Then I have the ISS, which is basically a Sputnik with a bracket attached to the front already, like it's integrated. With, I think it has 10-degree wedge in front, so perfect to go with 45-degree Exile Pudra or the Don't Rip Poppy, or a Banger. Banger works really well with the ISS.
Wow.
And I can also adjust the length to personal preferences. Then we have the CLDP, which is a double drop.
Okay.
It's really low. It has it is just like the ISS also. It's very special that you can use very narrow trucks on it with big wheels without getting wheel bit. It's very complicated to manufacture it, but it was very important for me that you can attach these trucks there, because it's just nicer to skate with narrower trucks, I find, personally. And we have the drop square, which is a so cool longboard.
Oh yeah, cool.
Which has a very steep drop, which has integrated fenders, which can act like mud flaps. You can also use very, very narrow trucks on it. I have been pumping with it, so it's not a huge push deck, it's a push bump deck.
Okay.
And it's super cool. It's also great for pushing uphill because it's so low to the ground.
Oh, good to hear. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the carbon cork series. Then we have the competitive series, which we call.
Okay.
It's basically it's very specialized boards for specific setups.
Okay.
We have the Procyon, which is manufactured to perform really well with torsion tails.
Okay.
Because a torsion tail needs a different behavior of a platform than, for example, a Don't Rip Delirium or the XL Insania. And from the Procyon, we have 4 variations currently. Okay. We have the Procyon Speed.
Okay.
Which has a typical fiberglass flex in it. Okay. It has a lot of rebound, but you need a little bit more energy to get this rebound. Okay. But it can go really fast, just like the name says it. We have the Procyon Endurance. It has a typical carbon fiber rebound, carbon fiber flex in it. It's easier to pump, but not as fast as the Speed. Okay. But it's easier to pump, so very good for long distance skating. Wow. We have the Procyon Tour, which is an approach to distance skating. Okay. You have, for example, when it comes to bicycles, you also have touring bicycles. Yes. Which are really comfortable bicycles, and you can, when you go on a tour, you don't know really exactly what kind of surface you're going to approach. Yes. So it will handle everything quite well. It was the same approach with the Procyon Tour. It has a very special fiber in it, which I cannot name, but it's a fiber that has never been used in longboarding. And it has really, really good damping properties. Awesome. So when you approach rough surface on a tour, because you're going on an expedition, it is easier to go over it with the Procyon Tour than with the Procyon Speed or Endurance. Cool. Yeah, that's
that's quite a lineup of products. That's amazing, and it's very impressive, actually. Lena, I heard it from Marvin, like we haven't seen the picture of Procyon Tourer yet. Would you be interested in sharing for this interview a picture of Tourer?
I can send in a picture, of course.
Awesome. If that's, you're making it even more special.
I mean, it's essentially a Procyon, just with a different fabric on the bottom. So,
obviously,
but I can send in a picture. That's no problem. Yeah, I still have to. Let it know on social media that we even have the Procyon Tour. So now people will first hear it on your interview.
Absolutely,
it's really special.
Yes. You're making it very unique. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Yes.
And we also have another board, which is Procyon Banana, which I also have been showing on social media a bit.
Yes.
Because it's a board I've been prototyping this year. The special thing about the Procyon Banana is that it has a 6-degree wedge in rear.
Yes.
And this board specifically only designed for TTX. The TTX has a 6-degree wedge.
Okay.
Which is there in order to prevent the tail from hitting the board, because the tail is quite flexible.
Okay.
But personally, I really love skating on a 0-degree torsion tail, and well, with flex it's maybe a little bit more, but it's in general a 0-degree torsion tail instead of a 6-degree torsion tail, because pumping is easier with 0-degree. You can make more small little pumps and then higher paced, which is for me more effortless on the long to do.
Awesome.
So while I was skating the TTX, I was like, I wanted it to be 0-degree, until I suddenly had, a light bulb over my head. And I was like, I can build a board with a 6-degree wedge in the rear, and I can make it 0-degree.
Awesome.
The TTX.
It's quite an improvisation, actually. Yeah, quite a valuable addition.
Yes, it's a really new concept, and it does so well. I am so amazed by it. So I went on my typical test run. I have a 10-kilometer test run in which I can skate like 1.5-kilometer laps inside.
Wow.
Like I can make it larger and larger and smaller. And on this test run, I was immediately faster at all the significant points where I know how fast I am going. So
wow.
that was totally amazing for me. And I am so happy I can now sell it because it's through prototyping. It's a durable board.
Okay.
And all the people that are now on my wait list and have orders till end of the year can basically has been given the choice, the option to change their order to the percent, but if they want.
Wow, that's a brilliant idea, actually. You know, like upgrading the people, giving options for the people in the wait list. That's incredible idea. That's incredible idea. Actually, Indian railway system follows such ideas wherein like people are in second class of tickets, you know. If there is a free first class ticket, they would automatically upgrade that seat. So
yeah, that's great.
So this system
it's smart.
Yes, of course it is. Incredible. So how do you manage the deadlines for multiple international customers? That's incredible. What you are doing. How do you do that?
Yeah, so first of all, basically, like what I am really good at doing is developing new technologies and developing a new kind of longboards. So when I set up my business, like everything else, like marketing, what prices to ask for my boards and everything else around that, that's really something that I have to learn or that I am still learning. Currently, I am really happy about how I've structured my work. So I can currently hold the deadlines for all the orders, which is great. It's less stressful. In the past, I sometimes went over the deadline, unfortunately, but I am so happy to have really patient customers. For me, what is really important is that I go quality over quantity. So it means I try my best to take my time and to rather take more time in order to preserve the quality of the board instead of holding the deadline.
That's incredible. That'll give you a long run, Lena, actually. In the long run, you'll retain more loyal customers, in fact, because like you put yourself into your boards a little bit all the time. So yeah, that's an incredible strategy, I would say. Best wishes for MK Longboards and to you.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Lena,
I mean, I am still learning, so
definitely,
it's a work in progress.
Yeah, you reinvent yourself and then you sort of improvise and you go about it. That's the way. That's incredible, actually. You are very open to it. I appreciate that. Who are all your distance skating buddies when you ride to Wenbahnweg? Am I pronouncing it right? Wenbahnweg, or like it's different?
Wenbahnweg, but it's pretty good, yes.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, like different people. So of course Marvin is always I skate a lot with Marvin, and it's always a lot of fun to skate with Marvin. Then we have from Germany some people that are living close by, Mark Meyer, Saskia Tomp, of course, now also Viola, and then some people from Bonn. The skating crew from there, and from the Netherlands we have people come over, like Shumi, I think Edwin also skated the Van Felix, like many more, and whenever I meet someone new, Like, for example, Viola, I saw her skating on the Dutch Ultra this year, and she really skated really well. And she came from Cologne, which is nearby the Fenmanweg. So I approached her and I was like, hey, if you want to skate, we can skate together at the Fenmanweg.
Awesome.
So
that's cool.
Yeah, the Fenmanweg is so really... Nicole, I forgot Nicole. Nicole is, of course, also skating the Fenmanweg. But the Fenmanweg is a really great road. It has a very good pavement, so it's really, really smooth. In Germany, we call it Sana Asphalt. It's so smooth.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It is surrounded by a lot of nature, which you can smell. Which you have a lot of fresh air, and it basically it's the road we skate. It's a part of the Fenmanweg because after that there comes gravel. But this part is without gravel, and it's about 37 kilometers long. And we start in the city in Aachen, and we skated up to Lammersdorf.
Okay.
Which is about 300 to 400 meters of height difference.
Wow, that's a lot of elevation. Yeah.
Yes, it has an incline of about 1 to 2%, which sounds like not much, but it's quite exhausting over time.
For 37 kilometers, yes, definitely it is.
So, like a lot of beginners were able to manage this. It was hard. They sometimes had to take a break, but it's so great. So we have been supporting, like me and Marvin, we have been skating with some beginners, going up and supporting them. And afterwards, they're really trained. They have muscle pain, but they are trained. And the nice thing is, when you reach the top, we turn around and go back down again. And you can do it fast, and you start pumping, and you can go 25, 30 km/h.
Wow.
Which is
incredible.
So cool to do. And you can overtake cyclists. That's also a lot of fun. Because then you're like, we are faster.
Any electric vehicles? Do you overtake electric vehicles as well?
Especially electric vehicles, because they go in Germany. They go maximum 25 kilometers an hour. And as soon as they go faster, the motor will not work anymore, and they have to build by themselves. So, like, many are a little bit annoyed when they get overtaken by a longboard. But it's a lot of fun also to see that.
Cruising around at 30 km/h is like, it's incredible actually. It's an average speed we are talking about. It's not that you're hitting the maximum speed over there. That's incredible. Awesome.
No, it's so cool. But you can also just keep it calm and roll down. Like when you are a beginner and it was so exhausting to go up, then wow, now you can rest a little bit and just calmly skate back down again. And that's why the Fenmanweg is so great.
That's awesome. So Lena, do you remember the boards which actually won the competitions?
Like maybe I should have made a list because it's difficult to remember everything. Basically, like Procyon, all the Procyons have won. All the Procyons variations have won competitions.
Awesome.
So we have Paul on the Procyon Speed, which managed to get third place at the Dutch Ultra Skate, which I am really impressed of. Paul did really well, and he also, I think he had second and third place in the ITSA Sprint Challenges. He went really, really fast on the board. Then I also did some competitions on the Procyon Speed back then in 2020, and I also won some competitions. I did the 100-mile challenge. That was really cool on the Procyon Speed. And the Flaming Runde and the marathon, and also there I won I think first place. Then we have Marvin this year on the Poseidon Tour.
Oh.
He skated Dutch Ultra with it, and he did the same amount of laps as Paul did.
Wow.
So it was a shared third place for 2 Procyon.
That's incredible. That's incredible. So is it the Procyon that you took it to Italy for the Pusha race, or like?
That's the Procyon Banana. Yes.
Wow. It was a prototype then, right?
Yes, indeed.
Awesome.
And the Procyon Banana is so great. So I had my personal best in marathon distance, which I'm really proud of. And I didn't plan for it because I just wanted to take it calm because I was training on endurance, not on sprint for the Dutch Ultra. So I had my heavy backpack with my big water bladder, and I was just skating. And then in the end, I was totally surprised how fast I was. Also, I forgot to eat before, so I had to eat in between. I got hungry.
So it's stable then. Yeah, Procyon is very stable.
Yeah, stable, but also fast, because when you are hungry, you don't have the energy. So, and that's why I am so surprised by the performance of it.
Yeah,
and
actually, we saw the video. We saw your video, riding video. Yeah, you were pretty fast in pumping.
Yes, that was I think the velodrome we did, which was a 1v1 race. Just so cool. It's so like I can recommend it to all the people who go to the Pusher. Do this to this competition. It's so much fun to compete 1v1 and to try to overtake the other person. So yeah, I got second place there. I'm still really proud of that.
That's amazing, actually. Yeah, because like Pusha is the race wherein like they don't classify as women and men, but you competed in the women category and you were second among everybody. So that's a great moment, I would say. Yeah, it's very inspiring.
Yeah. In the velodrome, it was indeed I competed against the men and I got the second place. Yes, that's like. And it's I can tell you it's the board. Like maybe it's a little bit me as well, but this board can, like, when you do it well and when you know how it behaves and you do these small pumps, it goes so fast. Like in the last 1v1 competition where I ended up second, it even slipped a little bit in the curve because I went so fast. It was a little bit dangerous, but it's acceptable.
I know you are being very modest and all that, but in photography, you know what people say is like it's not the camera which makes the best pictures; it's the person behind it. So I would give that to Lena, even though Procyon is amazing. Not to it's probably a mixture, right? Yeah, indeed. Of course. Yeah, awesome. So like how many races you have been so far in your career of distance skating? How long was your distance skating career?
Like I started 2018 with the Dutch Ultra just for fun, and also the Ultra in 2019 was just for fun. And then I started training because I got excited about it for some reason. I was really hyped. I think I did the Misfits Marathon from 2019, 2020, 21. 4 times. Flaming Run I did 3 times.
Yes.
So, and the Pusher Marathon I did, like, I don't know how to count it, like, but I think it's above 10.
Yeah, it's over 10 fingers. Yes.
Yeah, and if you take the social distance skating competitions, which is also a lot of fun, and I can recommend to do that because we compete worldwide against each other. And that's so cool. Then we have a lot more, of course, and we probably have 20 to 30 competitions.
Awesome. Congratulations for all the wins that you brought and for continuing to inspire a lot of people and young women, girls like you, That's awesome. Lena, which is your favorite route in your place? Like, is it Venwan Weg or like there are plenty other routes for you to ride?
yeah, like if it is my favorite route, it's probably indeed in my place, in my area, it's the Venbanweg.
Okay.
It's also my testing route, because I know how fast I go where, and depending on the wind, because I've skated it so often, I can really test my platforms on performance really well, because I just know how to compare it then.
Okay.
And there's also a thing I do every time I skate up and down. Like as soon as I go to the highest point where I skate, there is a sign, I place a sticker, and then I skate down again. So with that I can measure how many kilometers I've skated on the Venbanweg, which is about 3,000 kilometers now. I can tell you, I know every plant and every tree. Yes.
That's amazing. Quite a lot of memories then. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Like a lot of good memories, some bad memories when it was cold, because you go quite high up. So like when your hands get cold, your arms get cold, your feet get cold, then you try to stop somewhere and get a warm tea, something for warmth to just survive getting back to Aachen again. But also a lot of good memories, like especially when you overtake cyclists. yes, of course. That's a good segue. I mean, callback actually. Nice.